Just before we get into this video, guys, if you want to follow me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, the links are here. And if you also want to support me on Patreon as well and help out my channel, that would be absolutely awesome as well. But let's get on with the video. Hey guys, it is Wingy here and welcome to another Doctor Who video. So this time around, I was thinking about the Faceless ones that is coming out soon. I can't actually remember when it is, however, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I've enjoyed the animations that have happened over the last few years and, well, they've been animated now for a long time. I think The Invasion was one of the first ones, if not the first one, back in like 2006, something like that. And these recreations of classic Doctor Who stories that either don't fully exist anymore or weren't completed at all in Sharda's case, I think they are genuinely brilliant, because you get to see Doctor Who stories that have existed somewhat years ago, but they feel like something brand new. Especially when you consider the fact that the recons and the telesnaps, they're fucking dreadful, right? They are so hard going. But what I'm going to be talking about in this video today, as you can tell by the title, the animations that I want the most. Now, whether or not these are going to happen anytime soon, I couldn't tell you. I don't work for the BBC. But if you do work for the BBC, or you just happen to know in general, fucking tell me. Let me know in the comments, because I want that shit. I've got paper. I'm willing to pay. Paper is in money, not as in like, yeah, it's a sheet of A5. So first up, the Dalek Master Plan. Now for me, this is one of those stories that I just really want to see. Not only is it a Dalek story, and who doesn't want to see every single Dalek story that there is, but this was a Dalek story in the era of Dalek mania. The William Hartnell era was probably the most popular that the Daleks have ever been. In fact, their popularity was rivaled by the Beatles. Now, whether or not Dalek Master Plan is the greatest Dalek story ever made is totally subjective. Some people would argue that it is, some people would say that it's the very first one, some people would say that it's Power of the Daleks, other people would say that it's Genesis of the Daleks. But the idea of this epic Doctor Who story that spans across 12 different episodes, I think everybody would want to see it. There are bits and pieces and clips of it, I think, that still exist. Well, they do, because I've seen them. But the full thing itself isn't around anymore, unfortunately, and I think it could be the most epic Doctor Who story. I think the benefit as well with something like animation is, even if the story in reality wasn't that great or didn't look that great, it doesn't really matter, because the animation is going to improve that anyway. Obviously you will lose something, you will lose the whole natural expression and their little ticks and everything like that. Sometimes the animations have been very good at doing that, but you do lose something. It's not necessarily a lot, but it is there. However, I feel like a story like this that is already epic could be made even more epic through the benefit of animation. For me, this is probably one of the least likely to actually be animated anytime soon, just because of the scale of the thing. But it also has quite a few notable things in it. Now, Sarah Kingdom is a character that has cropped up from time to time. She is a notable character because she is a, technically not, but could be argued as a companion, but either way, is the first one to die. Spoilers for the thing that's been out for like over 5 decades. Sorry about that. This also features the very first appearance of Nicholas Courtney in Doctor Who. Now, he's playing a character called Brett Viren, which obviously is not the Brigadier, but to see somebody like him in Doctor Who playing a different role, that's awesome. Wouldn't mind seeing that. I think the idea of Dalek Master Plan has excited me more than anything else. And considering how much I hate the telesnaps, imagine trying to sit through 12 fucking episodes. Don't do it. It's just not fun. It's really not fun. So, with the Dalek theme there, I'm gonna say Evil of the Daleks as well. Now, obviously, a couple of years ago, they did release Power of the Daleks, which was the first of 2 Dalek stories within the Patrick Troughton era. Now, that animation definitely had its issues. However, I thought it was very good. Great, in fact. And to see Evil of the Daleks in the same way, slightly improved, not some awkward moments where people are just stood there and nothing is happening. But either way, to see Evil of the Daleks would be incredible, because not only is it, I believe, the first appearance of Victoria, who's not one of my favourites, but to see a companion's first story is always going to be interesting. We are first introduced to the Emperor Dalek as well. Now, I'm sure loads of you have seen the images of what the Emperor looked like back in the 60s. Yeah, that's awesome. I like the Emperor Dalek. I like the Dalek rankings that you have. You know, you have the Supreme Daleks, you've got the Scientist Daleks, you've got the Grunt Daleks, and to see the Emperor, the only time that we would see him until 2005, and I don't think we've seen him since. Like, that's awesome. Let's see more of that. And again, because it is the Daleks, I think it would be incredibly easy to sell. People want to see the Daleks, especially when it comes to 60s Doctor Who, and this would be the last appearance of the Daleks throughout the entire decade. They wouldn't appear again, in fact, until 1972 in a crap story. A story that isn't as bad as I made it out to be, Day of the Daleks, but it's not great. We're talking about Evil. Focus on that. The especially interesting thing about Evil of the Daleks is also the fact that it was supposed to be the very last appearance of the Daleks, period. Now, I'm sure you guys will know, but Terry Nation was taking the Daleks away from Doctor Who. He wanted to have a Dalek spin-off, an American TV show, I think, that was going to focus around just the Daleks and what they get up to. And I think the ideas of that show are very interesting. Obviously, I'm glad that the Daleks didn't end up leaving Doctor Who permanently. I think everybody is eternally grateful for that. But I'm really curious to see how they wrote the Daleks out of Doctor Who. I know the infamous line of the final end, but I want to see it. You know, I don't just want to see photos and hear the audio. This is probably just a rant of how much I fucking hate the telesnaps. I just want to see those final moments, and I want to see the final end. I've heard people talk in documentaries about little things that they did properly emphasize that the Daleks may or may not be dead, and things like that I get so excited about, because Doctor Who could have been so different if things hadn't gone certain ways. And so I really wanted to see what the mindset was like at that time, and I think an animation would really do it justice. Plus, I mean, it's a Troughton story, and half of his shit is missing, and I want to see it all. And of course, speaking of Patrick Troughton, we have got to talk about the main story that I won. The story that infuriated me the most when I watched it with the telesnaps, which is Fury from the Deep. Fury from the Deep, I think, could potentially be easily one of my favourite Doctor Who stories ever. The reason why it isn't is the fucking telesnaps. Fury from the Deep is so chilling, and it has got this real atmosphere about it that is so unsettling and unnerving, and you can't enjoy that with just audio of something that is supposed to be visual. There's that famous scene of the people coming in and they've got the open mouths and they're doing the gas thing, and it's the noise, and it's horrible. And I want to see that. I want to see the full thing. I want to get the full picture of this story. For me, the Macra Terror was one of those stories that I couldn't really give a shit about, and then I saw the animation, then I thought, fucking hell, that is one of my favourite Patrick Troughton stories. So imagine what Fury from the Deep would be like. A story that I already really like and I can't wait to see, and to see it properly, who the fuck knows, it might even be my favourite Doctor Who story ever. I don't think they've done a particularly eerie story yet. I suppose the Macra Terror can be in places, but there's something about Fury from the Deep that really resonated with me. And the fact that it managed to resonate with me, and it did really grab my attention, that speaks volumes. And so this is a must. After the Faceless ones, I don't care what you do. Well, actually I do. I hope it's Fury from the Deep. But the fact that they're doing these animations in the first place is fucking awesome, and I seriously hope that you guys are checking them out and getting the DVDs and stuff, because I think the more and more people show an interest in them, the more that they're going to do, and I think that is only going to be great for the Doctor Who community via a medium that we never really thought was possible. A lot of these stories were thought to just be dead and buried and gone forever, and the fact that we are getting some of them, hopefully all of them, in some way, shape or form, even if it isn't the original, who cares, because we still get them, and that's just fucking awesome to me. But anyway guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Which animations do you want to see made? Which of the lost Doctor Who stories are you most excited to see again? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget, I have mentioned it a couple of times, but it's next week I think, or there or thereabouts. Warp is happening in Manchester. I will be there. There's a few other people that are going to be there as well, so if you are attending Warp and you see me and you want to, I'm not forcing you, but if you want to, feel free to come up and say hi, and we'll have a bit of a chat and whatnot, and it should be a good day. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe for more. Social media and Patreon links will be in the description below, as always, so if you would follow me on any of those things, I would absolutely love you forever. But until next time guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye.